Well, here's something that I'd been wanting to do for a couple years now, and finally did it back in February. And the first issue arrived just today, about a half hour ago, in the mailbox. And here I could put a post-it note on here to cover up my mailing address. But what it is that I got a subscription to a Marvel comic, and back in 2020, around April 2020, when the pandemic hit and a lot of places had shut down. They had closed due to the lockdowns, like comic shops, for example. I had thought, now would have been a good time to have a mail subscription because the mail is still running and the comics would just come in the mail. As it turns out, a lot of there was a delay in comics publishing as well, so that wouldn't have made too much of a difference. But it got me thinking about it. I went to the Marvel and the DC website and also the Archie Comics website. And I did do a video previously, like a year or so ago, about Archie Comics, where I had gotten a 6-issue subscription to Archie Comics for like $9. It was something like that, including, that was the total price, $9 for 6 issues, for new issues coming in. And they would come in a plastic thing like this. A little different, though. The sheet was a little different. And I thought about getting a subscription to Marvel because, unlike DC, the way the Marvel website works is that if you add titles to your order, if you add 2 or more titles, the price drops. So normally a 12-issue subscription to, say, Avengers would be like $29.99, which is a good price considering the cover price is like $3.99 for a regular issue. So that would be something like $2.50 per issue if you got a subscription. But if you add a second title, say if you got Avengers and Fantastic Four, then the price drops to $26.99 for each subscription, 12 issues, which drops the price down to like $2.25 per issue, which you're talking like prices from 20 years ago. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to try it. So it didn't work out exactly how I hoped, though. Here's what happened, too. I was a little reluctant to add 2 titles at once because that's like $52. You're paying $52 for a total of 24 comic books, stretch out over 12 months. But, I didn't want to spend that much money not knowing how all this was going to work out. I was a little reluctant. But I had gotten that Archie Comics subscription, and that worked out well for the most part. Only one of my issues arrived in a kind of damaged state. And if I had wanted to, I could have probably written and, sent them an email and saying, could you send another one? So I guess that happens, and that's what they do. But I didn't bother. But I did notice that recently the Marvel website had started adding some of the one-shots to the subscription. So even though it's just a one comic. So I noticed that Captain America had some one-shots coming out in April. And this was back in February when I was looking at their website. And there's the Captain America Cold War Alpha, which came out last week. That's like $4.99 cover price, but through the website, it's like $3.75. If you added that to your Captain America subscription, the price would, it counted it as a second title. So the price dropped for the Captain America subscription to $26.99 instead of $29.99. So that made it a little more feasible. I got a quote unquote subscription to Captain America Cold War Alpha one shot, which, like I said, came out last week. And Captain America Unforgiven, #1, another one shot that comes out this week. I'm recording this on April 17th, 2023. Captain America Unforgiven comes out 2 days from now, April 19th. And like I said, Captain America Cold War Alpha came out last week. It was like April, whatever that would be, April 12th. And Captain America Sentinel of Liberty #11, which one of the titles I got the subscription to, that came out the week before that, April 5th. So this is the first, I ordered these back in February. This is the first issue I've gotten of the subscription. Now, I had expected that Captain America Sentinel of Liberty to have showed up already, but it hasn't. So I don't know what this is. I haven't opened it yet. I was going to open it on camera here. But my guess is, because I can see the side here is white, I'm guessing it's Captain America Cold War Alpha, which came out last week. So, if this had been Captain America Unforgiven, it would have come out 2 days early for me. Because sometimes that happens with those Archie comics. That was what was happening. Sometimes I'd get the issue, 2 days before it actually hit shops. But I'm going to open this up. We're going to check the condition. That was another thing I wanted to check. It does say, please do not bend on it. But how does it fare? Because I can't see what issue it is. That was the other thing I was kind of worried about. If you have a Captain America comic, just the cover right there, they may send some of them that way, but I thought that might make it a little more tempting to somebody to look at it or whatever during transit. But so far, just from the bag, it looks like there's no damage or anything. And so we're going to cut this open. I'm going to try to do it so I can preserve the bag. Just it's kind of fun to see the actual bag. Back in the 80s, I used to have a subscription of a bunch of Marvel comics back in the early 80s. And they would come in these brown paper sleeves. It's a wonder that they didn't fall out. I never had a problem with them at all. Like I subscribed to for 3 years, and not once did I have a damaged issue or anything like that. Although I'm not too picky about condition. That's one thing, Anyway, slide this out. Yep, I can see it's Captain America Cold War Alpha. Oops, I just showed my address on there. There it is. Let's see if there's anything. Oh, there is also this thing on the back of that cardboard insert. So $28.96. There's a list of all the Marvel titles that are currently available. Sometimes you see in old comic books, they'll have a subscription list listing the comics that are available. See, there's 2 Captain America titles. I did subscribe to both of them. So the first thing was I subscribed to Sentinel of Liberty plus those 2 one-shots. So I would get that $26.99 deal instead of the $28.96 deal. But then later, like a few weeks later, I was like, maybe I should get Symbol of Truth too, because I am collecting Captain America at the moment. And so when I added it to my cart, it also just automatically, even by itself, went down to $26.99 because it knew that I had also subscribed to these other titles too. So I was like, that's cool. I can, didn't have to do it all in one shot. I was able to subscribe to one title, add a one shot to it. The price drops to $26.99. And then 3 weeks later, I was like, I'm going to subscribe to this one just by itself. And it was $26.99 as well. Anyway, let's take a look. So there's the cover price, $4.99. But like I said, I only paid $3.75. And it looks fine. Perfect. Now, in June, there is going to be another one of these Cold War one-shots. Cold War Omega. That's the conclusion of the Cold War story arc. But unfortunately, the Marvel website isn't offering that on their subscription thing. I looked; they're not. They are offering a Nick Fury one shot that's coming up, but I'm not going to get that. I might hold off and wait and see how it looks when I go to the comic shop. But I did pre-order Cold War Omega from my local comic shop for June because it wasn't on the website for the Marvel subscriptions. And I didn't want to miss it. So, yeah, so this looks great. Like I said, it is 2 weeks 2 weeks late. And I am, missing Sentinel of Liberty number 11, which I believe when I looked on the website, it kind of shows you whether things have been shipped, or orders processing and things like that. They don't tell you exactly which issue number, but it made it sound like Sentinel of Liberty number 11 was shipped to me, but I have not yet received it. So that's why I haven't bought it at the comic shop yet. I've seen it at the local comic shop, but like I said, it came out April 5th, and this is April 17th. So I'm not buying it for a while, just in case it's lagging, and shows up 2 weeks from now in my mailbox. I can always get it next month if it turns out it's missing or whatever. But I'm glad this showed up. So anyways, they also have miniseries like Daredevil and Echo. They have that available to subscribe. So I have links. I'll put links in the description, so you can see how to do this. If you go to the website and order the subscriptions. I recommend it. I mean, this came out perfect. Other than the fact that it was a week late, or not totally a week late. Like I said, it came out last Wednesday, so it's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Today's Monday, so it's like, well, about 6 days late. So, anyways, this looks pretty cool. I might, hopefully this keeps up, and I keep getting the issues and they come in nice condition. That way you don't have to worry about missing an issue. Like it says, you never miss an issue. Why don't more people do this? Maybe just because of the lack of certainty. You're either the kind of person who wants to get the stuff from your local comic shop and doesn't want to risk missing an issue. So, but you're paying more, and you also can look at the comic and make sure it's not getting destroyed, Whereas here, maybe it's for more of a casual fan, and you don't, people complain about the prices of comics. Well, you're paying, $2.50, or me, $2.25 per issue, except for these thicker ones. This is a thicker issue, and it was $3.75. So something to look into. If you want to, like Avengers is being renumbered right now. The Hulk is also being renumbered, starting from number 1. DC has some titles that are coming up, Shazam, Green Lantern, that are starting over from number 1. So it might be something to think about. You could always give a gift subscription to somebody too, and interesting. And I'm glad they're still offering subscriptions. So thanks for watching.